Okay, I'm Marty Rowe, owner-manager at KOHI Radio, the only AM station in Columbia County, and we're happy to be a part of the forum today.
I'm John Barrington, former reporter for the Spotlight and the other paper as well.
Scott Laird with Vernonia's Voice newspaper. I'm the publisher, editor, delivery boy, bottle washer, just about everything.
And then I believe to start with Brady.
My name is Brady Prian. I know most of you. I am a long-term Columbia County resident, and I'm running because I think that we need a change in the county, and I think I'm the person to make that change.
I'm Susan Kahn. Thank you for inviting me to participate today. I've been volunteering and serving in public office in our county for nearly 3 decades. Because I believe in community, a community that has family wage jobs, affordable housing, strong schools, and a community that values quality of life. As a resident and elected leader, I see the need in our county for sustainable, diverse economic development. I believe we need to be able to offer residents, particularly our youth, a career path here in Columbia County. We need infrastructure, jobs, and businesses, but we also need education and training to help develop our workforce and take advantage of future opportunities. As things are changing quickly here. As your next county commissioner, I plan to bring to the office the same skills and drive that I've used in the past 27 years. We're at a turning point here. PCC and some large employers such as Boeing and other concerns will soon be breaking ground in Scappoose. This means opportunity for education for our citizens and maybe a jobs training facility. We're not exactly sure what it is going to envelop, but it all sounds good. And we're going to need to react to that as a county. We need experienced leaders to balance the quality of life that we all enjoy while still providing jobs and affordable housing for our current residents and those who will be coming and have housing issues, and we're going to need to look at those. Solutions don't happen in a vacuum, and they're never the result of one person's work. And I've worked long and hard to build consensus and be part of building our economic stability and meeting our citizens' needs. I intend to include that, or continue that. I ask that you support our county and our future by casting your vote for me.
Thank you.
I'm Joel Yarver. I've lived in Columbia County for 65 years. I have 5 children, 12 grandchildren. These are people that I'd be working for, my family as well as your families. I want to be your county commissioner because I know I will work for the citizens of the county. My decisions that I make as county commissioner will always be in the best interest of the people. As former commissioner, I have a proven record of open door policy for anyone that need help, individuals or whoever, businesses, industry, whatever. My door is open and it is always available for my help.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Margaret McGruder, a candidate for Columbia County Commissioner, Position 1. And I think that my years of experience as a farmer, a small business owner, coordinator of the Lower Columbia River Watershed Council, a lifelong citizen of Columbia County, being active in local, state, national, and international issues, have given me the knowledge and the background to be an effective commissioner. My initial goals are to maintain county-provided services, the core services, without raising taxes, to work to bring employment to all areas of Columbia County while maintaining our livability, to ensure that all county residents are represented, responded to, and respected by all of the departments of Columbia County government. Our county needs balance between jobs and protecting the environment, between meeting public needs and using your tax dollars wisely, and between rural and urban areas of our county. I have experience in business in balancing public and private budgets and in finding solutions. I've built relationships with elected officials, government agencies, and private citizens. I've brought millions of dollars and local jobs to Columbia County through my work with the Lower Columbia River Watershed Council projects. Recently, one of our projects, Batwater Station out near Quincy Mager, was awarded the Department of State Lands Wetlands Award. We met with the governor, and thank you, newspapers, for putting the picture in the paper and the story. We appreciated that. I also work closely with other environmental partners, and we have recently received commitment for $11 million over the next 5 years to come to Columbia County. And that's committed resources. During that time, we will also reach out to other funders and enlarge upon those resources, leverage those into greater dollars. And these dollars are not just for planting trees along a stream. We've helped the individuals who have experienced flooding, protecting their homes, their businesses. We're working right now diligently in Rainier. If you've been there and seen the sinkhole, it is threatening 3 businesses along Highway 30. Those are the kinds of solutions that I can achieve. I don't just talk about doing things, I accomplish things. Ask these folks that I've worked with over the last 20 years on flooding issues. Ask my neighbors. We all work in concert. I've been the Secretary-Treasurer of the Marshland Drainage District for I don't know how long. since I suppose since my brother was killed in an accident in 1978, and I took over many of his jobs. So I have a track record of accomplishment. And I believe I can bring that to the table and be a very effective Columbia County Commissioner.
Thank you.
My name is Wayne Mayo. I have been a longtime community member. I moved here when I was 6 years old with my father and mother.
You're still new.
What? I raised 7 children here. They are all grown up now, and most are married. And while doing that, I ran a construction company. I met payrolls week after week after week before 2000, when I had to lay everybody off. Now I work with subcontractors and am considering restarting my workman's comp policy to employ others as well. I have been concerned that a lot of work that gets called upon to do here in the county does not go to county contractors. It goes to out-of-county contractors. A lot of times we can't meet the criteria because of how they're written. The bond requirements oftentimes will leave us behind. There's a lot of good contractors in this county who would love to do public work, but the structure of how we get into it doesn't allow us to. I have, as you know, over the years I've been involved in ballot measures. I believe that there are more options than property taxes every single time we need money to run a jail, or to run CC Ryder, or to do anything else, repair our roads. There are other options to look at besides property taxes. And should you elect me, that's certainly one thing that we will consider far more strongly than has been considered in the past. Another thing, I'd like to know just how much rock is being mined in the county every day. I'd like to know the exact amount.
Okay. So, and I want to circle back, because I think a lot was just said in those introductory statements. But maybe just to kick it off, and then I certainly don't want to hog the question format. But I do want to hear from each of you briefly, 2 top issues in Columbia County, what you intend to do about it. And let's start back on this side. We'll go Wayne start.
2 top issues.
2 top issues.
Jail funding, long-term budget prospects. I think that the jail is, we absolutely need a jail. We have to pass another levy in 2017, I believe, is when it comes up. Am I correct?
Yes.
And
Well, I think it's being considered for the November ballot.
for the November 2016 ballot?
I believe so.
Okay. We have to pass that ballot. We have to run a jail. I think that's number one. In the future, we need to look at other options in that regard.
Such as?
Such as perhaps a depletion fee increase on gravel. There is a tremendous amount of gravel coming out of Columbia County every day. The numbers for this year, for 2015, averaged 210,000 tons a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I know that just the Cal Portland operation on the Scappoose Bay is doing 210. They're doing 210,000 ton a day on 3 barges. So if 220,000 ton is coming out of the county, and Cal Portland alone is doing 210,000, what does that mean? All the other pits in the county are only doing 10,000 ton, or 10,000 ton a day. I find that hard to believe, and that's just barging. That's not the trucks going out of Cal Portland. That's just the barges.
Okay.
So I think there's income to be looked at there.
What's your second issue?
Okay. My second issue is, and it's not so much a county issue as it is just our livability. Is I'm hoping that we can encourage our young people to look to higher education as their future, because there are not going to be necessarily a huge amount of family wage mill jobs left in Columbia County. If they can figure out a way to telecommute, if they can figure out a way, if we can upgrade our web access in this county, make for better electronics so that people can telecommute out of their homes, I think that would be something for us to look at as well. I think we've got to steer people to better paying jobs than just what is going to be left if we're not careful with our industrial friends.
Okay. Let's go with Joel. Same.
Yeah, jobs probably number one, because if you bring industry into the area, you wind up creating the jobs. You eliminate a lot of your process of your highway traffic. That eliminates your helps on the highway. One way to fix that is to work with the port. As you know, the port owns the majority of the industrial property around here, and they really like to lease property where a lot of industry, a lot of manufacturers and stuff, they would prefer to buy the property. I know that firsthand, because when I was commissioner, there was a commuter outfit that wanted to locate next to Pacific Stainless before they was there, and they wanted to acquire the property. The port would not sell it to them. They wanted to lease it to them. So they said goodbye. They was gone. Yeah, there's 25, 50 jobs, you know. So the job is a big thing, and wages. If you get into the enterprise zone, you have to pay the enterprise zone creates pay wage where it's time and a half of what average pay is here. So you are creating good paying jobs. So when the economics of the county is definitely going to drive the biggest problems away that we have in the county.
Okay. And I guess just kind of continue on, Margaret, but I do want to kind of interject and say, like, if somebody does say something and you feel a pressing need to ask a question, or certainly amongst the panel also, like, please ask follow-up questions. And what we would ideally do is kind of trigger a little bit of a dialogue that happens here versus just kind of a strict Q&A format. But that being said,
on the port, I'd like to ask, what other uses do you think could be mandated for the port besides fossil fuel projects then, Joel? What do you think?
Well, I'm sure, I'm not just saying fossil fuel projects. I mean, sure, they push the fossil fuel down in Port Westford now. The ethanol plant's down there, it's there, and you know, as long as I'm not really for the ethanol, because I don't think it works. It clogs up engines and everything else, but it's mandated that we have to use it. So it's mandated, so it's got to be somewhere. And as long as the containers are very safe, then it's one of those jobs. But there's a lot of other jobs, you know, in the computer industry or anything else. And like they're talking about with this research outfit coming in, that's going to create a whole different type of job. it's gonna create, you know, the new technologies of what's coming out. And I think that's the greatest thing that the port can do here in Scappoose. The only thing that I see that they haven't done as far as pushing, they've been pushing at the property for a long time and trying to create it so they bring in the industry for there. And the only thing that they didn't do is look at the access and start working on the access at the beginning of the program, because if it takes off the way they're talking now, they have to push all the traffic right through Scappoose to West Lane Road. And they should have been trying to develop the Dyke Road out here and access all that property from there so the traffic don't have to go through there. That's the only downfall that I see of the whole situation, because I think it's a great economic boom that'll come here. And it'll be the different type of industry. It's not fossil fuel. I'm not pushing fossil fuel for sure, but while we have it, we have it.
Okay.
And you have to support that.
How do each of you feel about the oil trains or possibly coal trains coming through the county?
For anybody?
Yeah, just any or all of you.
That's a good generic question.
Yeah.
Let's have them all answer that.
Well, because it's been an issue, and I think the trains are mostly running at night now. They come through.
They're not running at all.
They're not running.
They don't run.
Yeah, the market has largely.
And,
Yeah, until the
and
prices
I've,
come
of
back,
course,
they
have
won't.
been loudly and vocally opposed, and continue to be loudly and vocally opposed. First of all, the whole process of not even asking us whether we wanted to have that risk was a big problem. And that was done with an administrative decision from, the EPA that just changed the permit from a manufacturing plant to an oil facility, and I think that's part of the issue. And then the second issue, of course, is the risk that we have. And again, to me, the port has woefully been mismanaged. We have big issues with their management. That's not going to go away. 2 new commissioners on the port has not changed their management team, and the management team needs to change. And I think I'm the only candidate that's saying that, and I've said it to the port, and I will continue to say it to the port. You need to change your manager, plain and simple. He has no credibility. He won't have credibility, and just having new commissioners doesn't change his credibility. And I
guess one thing I would push on that, though, is that as a county commissioner, and port commission certainly is a separately elected commission. So as a county commissioner, which is the position you're running for, I mean, how does that, how would your position, I guess, play out as far as influencing the port decisions?
Well, I think that the leadership does come from the top, and I think that there's a lot of dysfunctional organizations within the county, and I think it starts with the county commissioners. And I do know, I mean, I've been in this situation multiple times where I've had a complaint about an organization or a person or staff, and they tell you, oh, we'll get an attorney, because they don't care. Or go to your county commissioner, or go to your DA, and those people, they don't care. I mean, they're part of the problem, usually, in most of the situations. And as a county commissioner, I think that will change. I mean, there is a power to behind the title of county commissioner, and I will certainly use that to try and influence places like the port to say, you have a credibility problem. I mean, if I as a county commissioner cannot trust your director, I think you have a problem. And I would be happy to say that to the port.
Margaret, do you think there's an accountability problem in Columbia County?
Well, I think that there's always an accountability problem that you can reach out to. I don't think you need to become county commissioner to be able to address these things and have the relationships with elected officials to make an impact. You have to build those relationships and those partnerships. When you are a county commissioner, you have a little bit more influence, but still, you're in Columbia County, one of 3 people. You are the county managers. I don't think that gives you a magic wand to be able to make huge changes, especially in the board and management of another elected body. As you stated, that port commissioners are elected by the citizens of Columbia County. But I would make an effort to build a greater relationship, sit down and talk about things, just like the oil and coal trains. we need to discuss these things countywide. We need to come to conclusions that can benefit all of us. Rail traffic in Columbia County is an important thing to have. We